Hi everyone! This is going to be a bit of a different video. Instead of building something, or trying to solve a problem, or doing whatever we have been doing, today I want to take a look at the base. Find errors, find mistakes, assess if everything is working right, and spend some time actually appreciating. Because we have been building so much stuff, right? And I didn't have time to sit and look. So today, we're just going to review the base and try to find problems too. Alright? Let's go around what we have built so far. So here we have the kitchen and a dining place and a place for them to relax with a sauna and a hot tub. I don't have bleedstone for the hot tub anymore, which is very important because they can't use it. I have a bunch of beds and bedrooms. Not all of them are full because I moved almost everyone into the other asteroid, which means I should keep trying to accept more people to fill the ranks in this base, especially because I have a somnium synthesizer here, and I would be able to use that to make the base, to make other bases stronger. So we have a compost space here, and we have composted all the polluted dirt we had to make food, and we don't have that anymore. But let's see how much dirt we have. Dirt. We have 12 tonnelids of dirt, so it's more than enough. Oh, we do have like 4 tonnelids of polluted dirt. Oh, it is working. It's just the art that doesn't have that made me confused. So we are composting a bunch of polluted dirt to make dirt for the farms, and there's a problem in this that I wanted to fix. That is, the farms are up here, like here, right? It would be better if those composts were more or less here, or maybe in the place of this Shinebug farm, so I can have like directly send things into the farm instead of having to go from the top to the bottom, then to the top again, and you know, that's like a very bad logistics, really. Or maybe even here, I could put here. I have some of the machines they're using to make stuff. I have the flowers making the germs that's needed to feed the biobots. There's a mistake I made when I made this, that there's some radiation here that probably is killing some of the germs. But so far it hasn't really hurt how much germs I'm making, so I guess I'm okay. But that's something that needs to be added to the list of problems I might need to solve. Maybe I might want to move this thing somewhere else farther from this infected duct moving spores into the biobot machines, right? We made a place for them to do free falling, a place to dancing, and we have the starts for the ducts, but we haven't done them. And the reason is because before we didn't have enough plastic, but now we have a lot of plastic because we have been looking at this place and they have been building. Oh, I'm going to do the thing. I'm going to just start to delete these stairs, because the plan was all along to use these stairs as the place for the tube to go up, right, and spread to the other places. So I might actually just do that and then put the pipe in any moment. We do have some of these Lura plants, which are okay, I guess, but I wanted to use oil from the other asteroid to make plastic, but we are still like needing to solve a lot of other problems before we can use the oil in the other asteroid to make plastic, so this actually has been helping a lot. Well, we have this we farm, and that gives us like 7 billion kilocalories, not to count how many grains we have, right? We have 9 tonnelids of grains. Yeah, we have food for absolute forever. The food is not going to be a problem. But, which is good. We might actually try... My entire plan is to make this asteroid to become kind of like a food factory, and then I want to like ship the food from here to the other asteroids. That's why I have all like this plastic food making machines, right? But clearly I am not making pincho pepper nuts fast enough to follow up with the grains that I'm making. Oh well. So we do have the biggest problem that we have to solve that has been making me very worried is that we don't have water. Actually, the water's running low. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 13, 14, 15, 16, about, I can highball it into 20 tons of water, which is bad. This thing is dormant, and it's going to be dormant for a long while. And this water is being shared between this asteroid and the other asteroid. And I'm only using it really to feed the farm and to create oxygen. So actually, you know what? I'm going to temporarily cut the farm. We did all that stuff to get the dirt, and then I can't use the dirt because we don't have water. But I'm going to cut that for a while, so I can ensure that the water I'm using is only going for oxygen making. But that adds like the biggest problem we have to solve, right? We don't have salt water. We need to either use the polluted water or we need to use the acoustic vent. I might make a jury rig solution really quickly just to make sure that we are not going to run out of water. Maybe run this through like a filter system and then pump that up there. But the problem is the germs, right? Yeah, I'll probably make a video that's just me making this purification and then that's it. I know a lot of people might want to know how to deal with purification. Well, we have a lab. Research-wise, we have researched almost everything. There's like only some techs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 techs that haven't been open yet. We do need their head bolt propulsion. Rad bolt propulsion. We need that. It makes like a very tiny rocket that uses only radiation to move around, and well, that's our useful. Oh, we do have water from the ocean. Maybe our solution might be purifying the salt water from the ocean. Oh yeah, that's actually a much better solution. We even like use that to clean the space and get some sand out of it. We do. What else do we have here? We have this thing making spindly group food, but honestly, that's not that useful anymore. We don't need that kind of food. But when you see there's like 1,800,000 group food kilocalories. So actually this is making a lot of food. But I don't know how I'm going to deal with this. Oh, we have the fish. So the fish is here. One thing about fishes is that I mentioned this in passing in one of the episodes. Fishes, they have a special quality that only them and shine bugs and I think shoals have, that they are born with enough kilocalories inside of them so they can survive, lay an egg, and then die even if they don't eat throughout the entire lifetime. Which means that if you get a tame fish and then you just put somewhere, they are going to have their lineage guaranteed forever. They're going to live, lay an egg, and then keep going on and on and on. For as long as there is enough water on their space to not stifle them and block them from laying an egg. So the thing with fish tanks is that they're very unmanned, because if I don't have food to give to them, who cares? They are going to like die, all of them, and then 5 of them are going to be saved because I'm saving 5 of them specifically in this thingy here. That's how much I have selected. Oh, so I'm saving 8. I save 8 of them here, and then these 8 are going to hatch, be born, move here, and then lay an egg, die, go back, hatch, born, they keep back and forth, and until I have food. When I have food, they're going to amp up their reproduction, which will give me more food, but only if I have food. So it's kind of like a machine that if I give things, I get things, and then that's it. It doesn't have like a state that it fails if I don't give things anymore. That's why I haven't been looking much at this direction anymore, because like this is going to work. I don't need to do anything about it ever. Fishes are broken. Fishes are ridiculous, to be honest. Like I feel they are the most powerful creatures in the game. We have the oxygen machines. They're working the way they're working. I have not set up cooling on the bottom side of the asteroid, only on the the core, the mid-top side. And these lugs. We also have these lugs, but we don't really need them anymore, right? I feel bad because I do want to have their eggs, right? They are very useful. If I go to a new asteroid, I can just send these lugs there, and then they're going to help me to close the problem with the power in the asteroid. But if I kill all of them, then I won't have their eggs anymore, right? I mean, not that's a huge problem. I have the portal here that allows me to just get an egg at will, right? So yeah, I think I need to destroy this, and these legs will have to go. I feel very sad about it because they have been very, very useful, and I don't know if this is kind of clear when you think about it. The game kind of like makes you use them, right? Because like you have these lugs, you have some need for power, and then when you look at the star map, there's always a node of cobalt just right there, like, so it's kind of like designed for you to go get the cobalt from space and then feed to these lugs, because there's all like the spaced out DLC, right? Like matches, everything fits together. But I don't know if I really need them. And I think the metal they're consuming is more than the power they're producing right now. Like the trade is not even. I think that's all of it for here, right? Yeah, we have like a tiny home for the scientists. We have some geotuning. Oh wait, I need to do the thing. My hydrogen vent is not working, right? So I need to stop geotuning it. Yeah, that's good. Because then I'm not geotuning this guy because this guy is not running, right? Oh yeah, I need to fix this. How do I do this, right? I think after I clean the slugs, I'll be able to actually fix this problem because I have more space. The reason why this is breaking, by the way, is because this is specific two tiles here, this tile with steam and this tile with metal, they do not move temperature fast enough to reach the other side of the water. So even though this metal is very hot, the water doesn't get that hot, which doesn't heat this water, which doesn't heat this, which doesn't heat anything. So because I'm not absorbing the heat properly, then the heat is accumulating, which breaks the hydrogen, the hydrogen pumps that moves the thing into the other place that I need it, right? So I have ways to fix it. Like I could, if I have like one more tile, I could put this bar all across the downside here, and that will move all the heat throughout the entire space, and that would just work fine, right? But I need to have a bit more space, and well, this is here, and I have this space. Oh, also there is another problem. The other problem is that I started pushing all my CO2 into this hole. And then this hole has almost 30 kilograms of carbon dioxide. The idea is that I wanted to actually like make a chimney that goes all the way up and then releases into space, because I'm not using the carbon dioxide anyway. But because there's hot space here, they'll just be here being compressed eternally until this thing will fault, and then this thing will not be able to push more carbon dioxide into this hole anymore, which will stop these things and will start to create a cascade failure of a lack of energy. But I'm aware of it. I'm aware of it. It's on my radar. I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it. You know, like it's not. Well, so I think that's all for this base, right? Oh yeah, I have the biobots. I have the biobots, and they're everywhere. Also, we have several pipes bringing the biobots, and we do have biobots like running like crazy across the entire base. Like they're here, they're there. They're doing stuff, and which is good because I move most of my builders to the other asteroid, right? So like I don't actually have ways to build here properly, but the biobots exist, so they help with that. One thing I want to do though, and another part of the plan, is that I do want to actually dig all this space out. I want to get all like these hot tiles and then dig them out and prepare this space of the volcano so I can work with it. At first I thought about like using this to purify the salt water, but given that I don't even have salt water anymore, that feels a bit stupid. But I do want to do this. And then I maybe just like keep these ones around just to avoid the magma from spilling. Yeah, so I wanted to kind of make an entrance with some sort of lock, and then allow them to just come here and dig this space out in a vacuum, so I can have access to this volcano, so I can use it to build something with it. Most probably I'll build a purifier for the salt water, because like it's just there. That's so easy, right? Like it's just there. And yeah, so in conclusion, after everything I've seen here, I need to get the water from the ocean, accumulate all of it, push this water into the purification station so I can have more water and avoid dying. While I do that, I also need to dig this space here to have access to the volcano, remove these legs out of this place, extend this place downward a bit, and then extend this iron bar so I can have another source of fuel. These are things I really need to do. Oh yeah, and down here, I haven't really done anything here yet. The thing is, I could actually use this to serve as a heating buffer for a smelter. What do I mean by that? I can use lava inside the smelter or molten metals, and then the smelter will heat up the lava into almost boiling points, and then the lava will be cooled down by this specific lava here that's not as hot as the lava is supposed to be, and then I can use this extremely hot lava to make things, for example, like glass, or heat up some steam turbines. These heavy bodies of lava can be used to essentially like as a huge heat battery for extreme heat temperatures, right? So I can like smelt rust, I can make glass, I can make a bunch of things out of it. But I do need to make a workstation here that is very protected, so something better than just this, because they're going to move hot materials around. And then they come here, and then they can work on this, and then this stuff like heats up the magma. And then we can have all the resources out of it. I haven't done that yet, because we elected to go to the other asteroid, because I want plastic. But this would be something I would be willing to do here. But beside that, yeah, I think that's... Oh no, there's one more thing. We found a puffed last episode, right? And we do have a polluted hot oxygen vent, and we have a chlorine gas vent. So everything kind of comes together to make a puffed farm. And honestly, it would be actually good to have a puffed farm here, because I would be able to geotune one of this vents, right? So I can maybe geotune the Kusting vent to make more water. But to do that, I need to make the puffed farm, which is actually really cool. And I probably want to make that on its own video, because a lot of people are afraid of dealing with puffs. For good reason. They look complex, but they're not really. They're actually very simple. They're deceivingly simple. They look complex, but actually when you kind of get how they work, it's like, oh, okay, I get it. It's actually very easy. So yeah, so this is all I have on this asteroid. Right. Oh, also, with the puffed, we can have oxalite. With oxalite, then it's easier for us to send rockets. Oh yeah, there's also yet another thing. I would like to make this to be automated. This one, I mean. We have a layer, we have like these 3 sockets here. This one sends a signal when the rocket is down here. This one sends a signal when the rocket is ready to fly. And this one sends a signal to send the rocket. So something like bloop, you know, like whenever the rocket is ready to fly, you just send up, and then the rocket goes and then come back, and then it keeps continuously going up there, getting resources coming here, and then it gets unready to go because it needs to be programmed. It has to have a destination, it has to have oxidizer, it has to have fuel, and then whenever everything's full and the thing is empty, fly up, go back, and then it keeps doing that permanently forever. And I don't need to worry about this anymore, because this would just keep giving me more metal and more resources. And since this is a robot, it doesn't matter if they're going to be in this space forever. So even if they go here and they just sit here for how many days they need to sit until this ore field recharges, it's fine. They're just going to be there, and then when they come back, offload, and then the duplicates come in, fill the stuff back, and then they just fly out, right? But to do that, I do need to have sugar being delivered. I would like to have oxalite instead of fertilizer, though honestly, when I am making more fertilizer than I'm using, aren't I? This is actually a good use for the fertilizer, because I have like 3 tunnelets, 4 tunnelets. How much fertilizer I have? For 18 tunnelets of fertilizer. So I am using way more fertilizer. So maybe I might not even worry with oxalite. I might actually just keep this in fertilizer and sugar. But I would like to make this to be as automated as possible, so they can just keep going back and forth without me having to think about it. But with that said, I would like to change how they're dropping the resources down, because right now they're just doing like this and then dropping here, which works. It kind of drops around this space, which is close to the plants, right? But honestly, what would be really good is if I somehow managed to drop them maybe around this shaft here, and then I had let's say I had the compost in here, right? So if I drop them down here, then they'll fall into the compost space already, and then the robots can just move around and then put them in the compost stations, and then that's kind of it. And then when the duplicates or the robots need to move the compost to the farm, they just do this, right? That would be really cool. But to do that, I would need to have the station kind of more or less around this space, so it's easier for me to just like drop this stuff down there. yeah, that's something else I wanted to do, right? Isn't it everything? Everything, all the vents, or all the volcanoes, all the stuff that we have. Yeah, that's everything on this asteroid. It is a lot of stuff. I feel very proud of how this base is going. It's very interesting since I started to record videos. Because I have to explain what I'm doing, how normally I build a base is getting a bit more functional. You know, I'm kind of realizing some things that I would do that's wrong as I'm saying it, and I'm like, oh wait, this is kind of stupid. And then I'm on the fly changing some of the designs I'm making to make like better designs. But there is one negative though, because in each episode I need to be focused at looking at one specific asteroid, and then I can't really keep building things in every asteroid at the same time, how I would do normally. Then this asteroid here is losing time, right? Like I could be actually have this dug already while I was building this stuff in the other side, right? Because the people here are just doing nothing, they're just waiting, right? But it's a bit tricky for me to keep going back and forth and recording the video, and then in the editing step I need to like cut all the moments when I'm just looking at other places, right? Making editing much harder when I keep like flipping back and forth, right? And it makes it harder for me to add that to the editing, because it becomes a bit jarring when I keep like very quickly moving between contexts and building like several projects at the same time. I don't know, but if you guys have a comment about if that would be cool, if you guys want to see me playing the game in a way that like I would play normally, just like going crazy, like swapping the planets and then going like in several projects at the same time to see how would you do it, that'd be okay. But I do think it would be a very jarring episode, because like just like the constant flip-flopping around the base is like it's at least like very hard to edit, at least. So okay, let's go to the other asteroid. So first things first is I removed the ceramic layer around the industrial sauna. And I did that because I don't have ceramic anymore. And think like this. If I want to have better insulation around a space, I can just add more walls. But if I want to have a better insulation around that pipe, I can do much more than actually add a better resource that makes the pipe to become better. So ceramic works better on pipes than works on walls, because I can just use multiple layers on walls, and in pipes I can't really do that. The only way for me to make a pipe to become even more insulated is by making a vacuum tunnel and then moving the pipe through it, which is a nuclear solution, right? And I don't want to do that. So I moved all the insulation I had into the pipes around here and the pipes here, especially the water pipes. I do assume that eventually we are going to use the volcanoes to purify the water, and if we do that, then the water is going to be really hot when you move through these spaces. That's why since from the beginning I have been consistently making every single pure water pipe as a ceramic pipe. But we got to a point where we don't have ceramic anymore because we're not making oxygen out of polluted air anymore. I do want to make a polluted air evaporator to make a ceramic factory, but that is a off-the-wall enough and complex enough building that I wanted to make it to be its own episode. And since it's not an emergency situation need I have exactly right now, then I'm pushing it forward until I have time to make something that's not, oh, if I don't do this, these people die, you know, like, so that's why I haven't done that. But it's starting to like choke me a bit when it comes down to the ceramic. I need more ceramic. The other thing I did, as you noticed, is this power station here. I noticed that the power draw that these machines were adding were too big, and I had to increase the number of hydrogen generators, so I doubled them. And then instead of having one floor with the hydrogen generators and another one with the people running, I moved the people running down here, so they have this really cool run place gymnasium that they're doing thing here, and up here we have the hydrogen generators, exactly how the other asteroid is, and we have the plants, and the plants are actually moving carbon dioxide from the other asteroid and to the other asteroid. Yeah, here you see there's some tiny amounts of carbon dioxide with a lot of germs coming from the other place and then just going down here. Oh yeah, and also I added another oxygen machine. I needed to do that, right? As I said before, I have 9 people. Each one of these oxygen machines makes 8.88 grams per second. Each duplicant breathes 100 per second. So I was losing 22 grams per second of my overall atmosphere because I couldn't really feed all the oxygen they were taking. So now I have one more, and then the oxygen needs have been completely fulfilled, which is good because now that forced the pressure in this place to be just high enough to move all the oxygen down, and then these places are very easy for them to go. They're breathable, they don't get like confused, they don't get like itchy eye, and this place is very hot. So now I have like where they sleep. I have a dinosaur because they are colder dinosaurs. I have a place for them to eat, but they're eating dried food. I am sending dried food from time to time to help them. I have a bathroom. I have a bunch of polluted water here. I'm trying to accumulate them the way they are here so I can make a ceramic machine. So I intend to evaporate them and then make oxygen. You know, like that's why I accumulate all the water. I have all these wheat grains and all the nosh beans I have found so far stashed in this library. But then eventually, when I actually make the farm, I would just move them into the farm. And then they'll just be there. I'm not wrenching the pucker shells, which is sad. I really like them. They are one of my favorite creeps. Oh, also, yeah, this is actually the biggest thing. I opened this up, and it's getting very hot. It's not like destructive hot. This is going to get tops the 165, and the base is being like cooled down with a system. So what's going to happen is just the heat's going to reach close to the base, and then when it gets close to the base, it's just going to fade out because the base cooling system is much stronger than the thing anyway. But this does mean I want to do something relatively quick around here. Maybe making like a block this area with some insulation. Oh yeah, also something else in the first asteroid that's also important is I haven't made the Sweeto farm I have been promising all the time, right? So the thing is, I realized that it's better to make the Sweeto farm in the other asteroid and then export the sugar to this asteroid so I can send my rocket up, right? But I do want to make somewhat of a quick Sweeto farm just to consume all the sulfur I have into sugar, you know. You know, I'm going to actually design this here. It's not a super complex thing. To be honest, I might actually just move all the tame Swittles here. I never actually really tame them. Alright, so this is good. This will slowly convert every single sulfur I have ever got in this asteroid back into sugar. And then we can use that as a rocket fuel. Slowly, as I dig more, I'll keep feeding them. And because they're wild, they're never going to die. So not even that's a problem. I really regret that I made only one pen. I could have made more than one. I think this would be much more interesting. Oh, also something that's interesting to review is that when I mind wiped this entire colony, the biggest difference I did is now the priorities are exclusive. So they only do a thing, and they do not like dig, they do not work or anything, they just do this thing. And the reason why I made like this is because I can ensure that everyone is doing what they're supposed to do because they're not, you know, being distracted to go to the other side of the asteroid to grab a rock while they could be doing engine tuning or something like that. That ensures that the base works continuously, but it kind of sucks when you're building things because now I can't call all hands on deck and make all of them to come in here and start building something, right? And so like the base grows slower, but on the flip side, it's more sure that they're not going to explode all of a sudden for some random reason. We managed to patch some problems in the base, but yeah, so then there's not much crazy stuff going on. Well, so leave here for today's episode. Not a huge build, not a how to do something. Check the base, see what we have done so far, patching up some of the holes, which is good to do from time to time, you know, building some of the projects that we started but we didn't finish, like the transit tubes, and that's it. But yeah, well, with all that said, thank you very much for watching. I hope you all are enjoying the series. This is the first time I record videos for YouTube ever. I'm still learning how to do the editing, and I'm committing mistakes left and right, but I'm learning, and I hope everyone is enjoying. Because I am enjoying, this is actually really fun. So yeah, see ya. See you in the next video. Bye.